This is APN Daily English News Service brought to you by Khan Press Network. Today, 17th of December 2016. As for me, I am your daily host, Sajid Jal saying Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Headlines from APN. Report of International Crisis Group subsists on popular Kannada. UN says it gets reports daily of killing and rapes on Myanmar Rohingya. News in detail. ICG claimed that it had interviewed 4 members of the group in Rakhine State and 2 outside Myanmar, as well as individuals in contact with members. PIA message apps. As far as I know, no one from ICG could interview any member of Al-Yaqin. I wrote before about the Katsarin group both in English as well as in Burmese. After reading the reports, I hardly could contact one of the Al-Yaqin member who grossly denied such kind of interview with any media or any member of a group. He said, "We had honestly and sincerely announced whatever we did. We are independent with no link to any foreign country. We even appealed to everyone publicly not to trust those who claim they are members of Al-Yaqin and raise money or any person outside Myanmar represent in the name of Al-Yaqin." The main goals of Al-Yaqin are to end the decades-long persecution of Rohingya and restoration of all stolen rights by Myanmar regime. Abu Ammar Junooni, who led the attack, said many times that we stand here to get our right back, not to harm Buddhist or public. We are not terrorists. Myanmar leaders who have been committing atrocities against us are the real terrorists. Yes, Myanmar has been using land, navy and air force, extrajudicial killing, mass rape, intense arbitrarily arrest and the torching of villages to crack down our activities. We temporarily ceased our movement since November 12, said the certain anonymous. Since the 1970s, Myanmar regime has been persecuting Rohingya. Though UN recognized them the most persecuted on earth, ICG did not attempt for the action. In 2012, state-sponsored violence displaced more than 140,000 Rohingya, and Tenzing kept all Rohingya in the concentration camps and ghettos. New civilian government, instead of lifting the blockage and restriction, increased them and forcing Rohingya to accept NVC card. I wrote hundreds of news articles related to the genocidal blockage. Instead of taking action for Myanmar's genocidal policies, ICG wanted to make the problem more complicated, writing the world's newest Muslim insurgency. Does common sense identify a group with swords and stick as a well-organized world insurgency group? The ICG nominated Tenzing, who staged genocidal violence against us in the 2012 for Peace Prize before, and now it shares the army and government's view that the Rohingya don't really deserve equal treatment as full citizenship. Myanmar government must address the underlying cause of Rohingya's anger that is pushing Al-Yaqin youth towards insurgency. These causes include long-standing persecution, a sense of alienation from the political process in Myanmar, arbitrary restriction on movement from 1970 to 1990, and genocidal operation since 1992. The United Nations is getting daily report of rapes and killing of the Rohingya minority in Myanmar, and independent monitors are being barred from investigating, the UN Human Rights Office said on Friday. UN Human Rights Chief Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein said in a statement that the government led by Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi had taken a short-sighted, counterproductive, even callous approach to the crisis, risking great long-term repercussions for the region. At least 86 people have been killed according to state media, and the United Nations has estimated 27,000 members of the largely stateless Muslim Rohingya minority have fled across the border from Myanmar's Rakhine State into Bangladesh. The repeated dismissal of the claims of the serious human rights violation as fabrications coupled with the failure to allow our independent monitor access to the poorest affected areas in northern Rakhine is highly insulting to the victims and an abdication of the government's obligations under international human rights law, they said in their statement. If the authorities have nothing to hide, then why is there such reluctance to grant us access? Given the continued failure to grant us access, we can only fear the worst. UN Human Rights spokesman Ravina Shamdasani said that the UN Human Rights Office had submitted a formal request for access to area which had not yet been granted. Adrian Edward, a spokesman for the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR, said his colleagues in Bangladesh had spoken to more than 1,000 newly arrived refugees in the past few weeks who gave account of houses being burned, targeting of civilians, and traumatized women and children who had witnessed the killing of family members. UNHCR could not verify the accounts of first hand, but it was extremely concerned, and it urged the Myanmar authorities to investigate and the government of Bangladesh to give the refugees as a safe haven too, he said. Zaid said in June this year that crimes against humanity may have been committed, and if the government did not handle the situation very carefully and address the graveness of the Rohingya minority, violence could ensue, Shamdasani said. Unfortunately, this is exactly what's happened in the past couple of months, she added. We are worried that this is going to get further out of hand. This is perfect breeding ground for violent extremists. So this is for today from APN English News Service. Thank you for watching. For our APN English News, please stay tuned for more updates. There are still to come more. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.